Hello students, today we start with that of limiting reagent. So before we start, you should know the definition of limiting reagent. So a limiting reagent is a reagent which is present usually in small amount and it actually gets consumed wholly in the reaction and it limits the amount of product formed. So that is your limiting reagent. So if the definition comes, what is a limiting reagent? You will write the reactant which gets consumed totally in the reaction and it is usually present in a smaller amount and it limits the amount of product formed. That is called as your limiting reagent. We'll see numericals related to that of limiting reagent. And remember in your mind that in limiting reagent problems, one of the reactant is usually present in less amount and that becomes the limiting reagent, and the other is present in a greater amount there and that becomes the excess reagent. But remember, the product that will be formed is with that of the limiting reagent reactant. So that which is present, three things you need to remember in your mind: that which is present in less amount, and that which is totally consumed during the reaction, and it is usually limits the amount of product formed. That is called as your limiting reagent. So let us see here first the theory based question on limiting reagent. The question is, in the reaction A plus B2 gives AB2. Identify the limiting reagent, if any, in the following mixtures. So you need to identify the limiting reagent there. The big hint is the one that is present in less amount. That is called as your limiting reagent. So see here, the first part of the question is 300 atoms of A plus 200 molecules of B. So in 300 atoms of A and 200 molecules of B, you can see here B is present in less amount. So this is your limiting reagent. 200 molecules of B is your limiting reagent. So B is your limiting reagent. And the other one is the excess reagent. A is present in excess. Second part of the question, you see 2 moles of A plus 3 moles of B. So A is present in less amount. So A is your limiting reagent. Look at the third part of the question, 100 atoms of A plus 100 molecules of B. So since here atoms of A are reacting with molecules B, 2 molecules. So since they are present both in the same amount, no limiting reagent is there here. Correct? Fourth part of the question, you see 5 moles of A and 2.5 moles of B. So B is present here in less amount. So B is your limiting reagent. Similarly, you see the fifth part of the question, 2.5 moles of A and 5 moles of B. So since A is present in less amount, A is your limiting reagent. I hope this question is very clear to you. So first you need to differentiate that which will be the limiting reagent. So the idea behind it is the one that is present in less amount is your limiting reagent. Let's go to the next problem. The question is, calculate the amount of carbon dioxide that could be produced when 1 mole of carbon is burnt in air and 1 mole of carbon is burnt in 16 gram of oxygen, and the third part is 2 moles of carbon are burnt in 16 gram of oxygen. So if such question comes in your exam, first write down the stoichiometric relation, that is the equation first, chemical equation. Carbon reacts with oxygen resulting in the formation of carbon dioxide there. That means 1 mole of carbon reacts with 1 mole of oxygen to form 1 mole of carbon dioxide there. So I'll show you here on the board how to do this problem. So see here, the question is carbon reacts with oxygen and it results in the formation of carbon dioxide, CO2. That is the question that is given there. So here 1 mole of carbon will produce how many grams of carbon dioxide? That is the question that is asked. So carbon here is 12 grams, oxygen is 16 into 232. So the molecular mass of carbon dioxide comes out to be 44 grams. So 1 mole of carbon burns in oxygen to give 44 grams of carbon dioxide. So this is the first part of the question you will be solving. The second part of the question is asked that if 16 grams of oxygen react, then how many grams of carbon dioxide will be produced? So from the equation, O2 molecules are there. So 32 grams of oxygen will produce 44 grams of carbon dioxide. Here, oxygen is present in less amount. So this is your limiting reagent. So oxygen is a limiting reagent. So 16 grams of oxygen will produce. So you'll solve in this way. 44 divided by 32 into 16 grams. So this is how you'll solve. 16 grams. And we get here 16 ones, 16 twos. So we get here 22 grams of carbon dioxide. So this is how you'll solve the second problem. Okay. The third part of the question that is given is that if there are 16 grams of oxygen there and or 2 moles of carbon reacts with 16 gram of oxygen and it results in the formation of carbon dioxide. So to solve that, I'm showing here only. If 2 moles of carbon are reacting, correct? In the equation you can see 2 moles of carbon cannot react. 1 mole of carbon reacts with 1 mole of oxygen only. So carbon there is present in excess. The limiting reagent again is oxygen there. So it will react with the third part of the question is also the same. That is oxygen is your limiting reagent there. So 32 grams of oxygen results in the formation of 44 grams of carbon dioxide. 16 grams of oxygen will again produce you 22 grams of carbon dioxide respectively. So that is how you will solve the problems related to that of your limiting reagents there. Let me show you here on the screen the answer to this question. And this is how you will answer. So carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide produces 44 grams. In the second part, 16 grams of oxygen is available. So it is a limiting reagent. So 22 grams of carbon dioxide is produced. Third part also again it's the same. Even though 2 moles of carbon are given, only 1 mole will react and 1 mole is present in excess out of 2. So again, dioxygen is the limiting reagent. So 16 grams of dioxygen will result in giving you 22 grams of carbon dioxide respectively. That's how you solve the problems related to that of your limiting reagent. Now look at this question. The question is, in 3 moles of ethane, calculate number of moles of carbon atoms. So here you can see in 1 mole of ethane, there are 2 carbon atoms. Correct? So in 3 moles of ethane, there will be 6 moles of carbon atoms there. So answer is 6 moles. Look at the second part of the question. The question is, in 3 moles of ethane, calculate the number of moles of hydrogen atoms. So in 1 mole of ethane, there are 6 atoms of hydrogen. Therefore, in 3 moles, 6 into 3, that is 18 moles of hydrogen atoms are there. Hope this is clear. Third part of the question, you see number of molecules of ethane. So 1 mole of ethane contains 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 molecules of ethane there. Therefore, 3 moles of ethane will contain 3 into 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 molecules of ethane, and your answer comes out to be 18.06 into 10 raised to 23 molecules. Hope you have understood. Let's go for the next problem now. Yes, it's a very important question, a little tough, but if you understand how to solve and proceed, you can easily solve such questions on limiting reagent. So let me read the question first. The question is 50 kg of nitrogen and 10 kg of hydrogen. They react with one another and they result in the formation of ammonia. So calculate the ammonia form. The question is, you need to calculate the amount of ammonia that is formed. And the second thing which you need to calculate is identify the limiting reagent in the production of ammonia in this situation. I'll deal with this. I'll show you first how to solve this problem on the board. I'll show you. See how we can solve this problem on the board. Easily you can solve such problems there. And first you will be writing the equation there, stoichiometric equation. So you'll write there, nitrogen combines with hydrogen and it results in the formation of ammonia. So write the well-balanced equation first. N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. This is the equation first you will be writing. Okay. Now, what is the mass of nitrogen that is given in the question? So mass of nitrogen given in the question is 50 kg. 50 kg means convert this to grams and it is 50,000 grams on conversion. You get this as 50,000 grams. Similarly, we will calculate mass of hydrogen. That is given in the question as 10 kg. So this comes out to be 10,000 grams you will be getting. Okay, but this is what is given in the question I have written. Now we can calculate the number of moles of nitrogen by putting in the formula number of moles of nitrogen equals to given mass upon molar mass. Given mass is 50,000 grams for nitrogen. And molecular mass of nitrogen, we know it is 28 grams per mole. And this is grams. So we get the number of moles of nitrogen there as 17.86 into 10 raised to 2 moles. So I get the answer as 17.86 into 10 raised to 2 moles. Hope till here it's clear for all. Just I calculated the number of moles for nitrogen given mass upon molecular mass. Similarly, I'll calculate number of moles for hydrogen. This is again given mass upon molecular mass. And given mass is 10,000 grams there. And molecular mass will take for one hydrogen atom 1.008. So for two hydrogen atom it is 2.016. So we'll divide 10,000 with 2.016. 10,000 grams divided by 2.016 grams per mole. So we get the answer in moles there as 4.96 into 10 raised to 3 moles. 4.96 into 10 raised to 3 moles. So I get hydrogen there as number of moles 4.96 into 10 raised to 3. But hydrogen that is given will be calculating with respect to this equation. Now see how I equate this equation. I am writing only number of moles for hydrogen and nitrogen and I am rubbing this on. How we'll proceed, you see. This is number of moles of nitrogen and that is number of moles of hydrogen. This is N for N2 and this is N for H2. Now see how we proceed from the equation. So here you see 1 mole of nitrogen reacts with 3 moles of hydrogen. Firstly, you will write this, equate this equation, 3 moles of hydrogen. Okay. Therefore, with nitrogen we are equating, it is 17.86 into 10 raised to 2 moles of nitrogen will react with how many moles of hydrogen there. So here there we will be writing 3 divided by 1 mole into 17.86 into 10 raised to 2. 17.86 into 10 raised to 2 moles. So I get the answer in moles there as 5.36 into 10 raised to 3. I'm writing the answer here. 5.36 into 10 raised to 3 moles. But hydrogen given in the question is 4.96 into 10 raised to 3 moles. So since hydrogen in you need this many grams, this many moles of hydrogen. So since hydrogen is present in a less amount, you can compare the one which is given in the question and with the equation there. So on comparing, you can see that hydrogen is present in less amount. So hydrogen is your limiting reagent. So write down first. Hydrogen is the limiting reagent. So after writing this, limiting reagent. After writing this, we will proceed with this limiting reagent there. That is, this hydrogen is responsible for the formation of the product there, that is ammonia. So we'll compute the equation of hydrogen with that of ammonia there. So see how I do. So I'll write 3 moles of hydrogen produces 3 moles of hydrogen produces 2 moles of ammonia. This is how you'll write 2 moles of ammonia. From equation only I am computing that which is present in less amount, that is acting as a limiting reagent, and that is responsible for the formation of product. Ammonia is formed here. So 3 moles of hydrogen produces 2 moles of ammonia. Therefore, hydrogen given in the question is 4.96 into 10 raised to 3 moles of hydrogen will produce how many moles of ammonia there? So it is, I'll write 2 moles divided by 3 moles into 4.96 into 10 raised to 3. Cancel off the units and we remain with we get the answer there as 3.30 into 10 raised to 3 moles. So I'm writing your answer here. Answer we get here is equal to 3.30 into 10 raised to 3 moles of ammonia. This is how you will solve the equation. So 2 things we have to calculate. What is the amount of ammonia formed? Amount of ammonia formed is 3.30 into 10 raised to 3 moles of ammonia. And the limiting reagent here is your hydrogen. Hydrogen is your limiting reagent. So this is how you will solve the questions that are related to that of your limiting reagent there. So this is a working which is given in the question. You see 50 kg is converted to moles, that is number of moles of nitrogen. You get 17.86 into 10 raised to 2 moles. 10 kg of hydrogen you get there as 4.96 into 10 raised to 3 moles. So since this is present in less amount, we need 5.36 into 10 raised to 3 moles of hydrogen, but from the equation. But hydrogen given is 4.96 into 10 raised to 3 moles. So this is your limiting reagent. Hydrogen is your limiting reagent there. So ammonia will be found from that of limiting reagent, and the ammonia produced is 3.30 into 10 raised to 3 moles of ammonia. So this is how you'll solve this problem related to limiting reagent. Hope it's clear. Now see this question. This is the same, but here the masses are given there in grams. The question is dihydrogen and nitrogen react with one another to produce ammonia according to the equation, and 2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. You need to calculate the mass of ammonia that is produced if 2000 grams of nitrogen and 1000 grams of hydrogen are given. Then the second part of the question is, will any of the two reactants remain unreacted? I said limiting reagent questions. One of the reactant is present in excess, so it will remain unreacted there. The reagent that is present in excess, that will remain unreacted. So the third part of the question followed by is, if yes, which one? And what would be its mass? So you need to calculate. The N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3, in which the mass of nitrogen given is 2000 grams and hydrogen given is 1000 grams respectively. I'll show you again here on the board how to do the calculation there. Here I have written the equation already. The equation is N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3 there. And what is the mass of nitrogen and hydrogen given? Mass of nitrogen is given there as 2 into 10 raised to 3 grams, that is 2000 grams. It is given in the question. Okay. Similarly, mass of hydrogen given is 1000 grams. So write there 1000 grams. See how simply I solved this problem. So here I'll be seeing computing with that of equation now. That is 28 grams of nitrogen. First I'll be finding out the limiting reagent. 28 grams of nitrogen reacts with 6 grams of hydrogen. Okay. So you see here 28 grams of nitrogen reacts with 6 grams of hydrogen there. Therefore, here nitrogen given is 2000 grams of nitrogen will react with how many grams of hydrogen? That you need to find out. So I'll write unitary method again. 6 grams divided by 28 grams into 2000 grams. So I'll cancel out grams, unit, and I get the answer there as 2428.57 grams. 2428.57 grams of hydrogen. No, sorry, here only it is only 428.57 grams of hydrogen is produced. On doing this calculation, we get 428.57 grams of hydrogen there on solving this part of the question. Now you compare this hydrogen with the question that is given here. Mass of hydrogen given is 1000 grams. So since hydrogen is present in excess there, so hydrogen is your excess reagent. So one reagent you have found out that it is excess. Naturally, nitrogen is your limiting reagent there. So here you got the answer there as the limiting reagent is nitrogen. Nitrogen is the limiting reagent. So firstly, you need to find out that which will act as your limiting reagent there. So limiting reagent is your nitrogen. Till here it's clear, I hope. So first find out which will act as your limiting reagent there. So nitrogen is the limiting reagent, and this nitrogen will be responsible for the formation of the product there. So I'll show you here that how many grams of ammonia will be formed there. So here you see, since nitrogen is the limiting reagent, we'll proceed with nitrogen. That is 28 grams of nitrogen produces here how many grams of ammonia will be formed? 34 grams of ammonia. 2 into 17. 34 grams of ammonia. Therefore, in the question, nitrogen given is 2000 grams of nitrogen. 2000 grams of nitrogen will produce how many grams of ammonia? So solve this. 34 divided by 28 into 2000 grams. So you get the answer there as 2428.57 grams respectively. I am rubbing this and you get the answer, that is amount of ammonia that is found is 2428.57 grams respectively. So ammonia that is formed in the reaction is 2428.57 grams. Now if the question is asked, will, the second part of the question, will any of the two reactants remain unreacted? You will write there, this was the first part of the question I had attempted. The second part of the question you will write yes. If yes, which one it is? You will write hydrogen will remain unreacted since it is present in excess. Hydrogen will remain unreacted. You will write this way, will remain unreacted. And the third part of the question is, if yes, by how many grams? So you need to subtract. Third part of the question, 1000 grams of hydrogen was given in the question, and on solving, only for 28.57 grams are reacting. 428.57 grams of hydrogen are reacting there, right? So the remaining is this minus this, and you get the answer there as 571.43 grams. 571.43 grams of hydrogen remain unreacted. So this is how you will be solving the problems related to that of limiting reagent. Hope you have understood this problem. I'll show you here on my screen also. I'll share the answer. So you see, this is the question given. 28 grams of nitrogen reacts with 3 moles of hydrogen. So 2000 grams will result in giving you 428.6 grams respectively. He has rounded off here the answer. So since hydrogen is present in excess, nitrogen is the limiting reagent there. So 28 grams of nitrogen produces 34 grams of ammonia. Therefore 2000 grams will produce 2428.57 grams. And will any of the two reactants remain unreacted? You'll say yes, hydrogen will remain unreacted. If yes, which one and what would be its mass? You will write mass left unreacted equals to 1000 grams minus 428.6 grams, and you get the answer there as 571.4 grams. So this is how you solve. Hope you have understood. I have solved on the board also, and I have showed you here on my screen even. Then these are the problems for practice. The question is, if 20 grams of calcium carbonate is treated with 20 grams of HCl, then how many grams of carbon dioxide will be produced? So you'll write the equation first. Calcium carbonate reacts with HCl to form calcium chloride plus carbon dioxide. Balance the equation first, then compute the equation and find out the limiting reagent there. And that limiting reagent will be responsible for the formation of carbon dioxide there. So your answer is 8.80 grams. And the second part of the question is, zinc and hydrochloric acid react according to this equation. Zn plus 2HCl gives ZnCl2 plus H2. And if 0.30 moles of zinc are added to hydrochloric acid containing 0.52 moles of HCl, then how many moles of hydrogen are produced? Here also you compute the equation, find out the limiting reagent. HCl is the limiting reagent here, and hydrogen that is formed is 0.36 moles respectively. So check, see whether you are able to solve the problem or not, and if any doubt we'll discuss in our online class. Till then, thank you children and have a nice day.